Hello gamers, and welcome to a basic melee tech skill video covering mainly Marth. These will just be some quick techs that you can practice, maybe no more than a minute on each one right before you play with friends or right before you play on Unranked. And overall, if you do that, it should really help you have a better control of your character and a better control of the stage. We are playing on Melee's training mode, and we'll be heading to the training lab first. We're playing as Marth, of course. And let's go to Battlefield and start this. So, the first thing we want to really start off with is just jumping. Getting that difference between a full hop and a short hop. Short hops are a little bit harder to hit than full hops, but just try to sit here. Maybe just stand in place. You'll see if you can get about 5 to 10 short hops in a row. You know, we don't want full hops, we don't want double jumps, just short hops. Once you feel like you can do that pretty well, try running around the stage while doing the short hops. Next, once you feel like you can do that pretty well, once you get your short hop, press down to initiate a fast fall where your character will fall very quickly. So this is it without fast fall. This is it with fast fall. Pretty big difference. The next thing we want to work on is dash dancing. Dash dancing is one of Marth's best neutral options, I personally believe. Dash dancing is the act of just dashing one way, dashing the next. If you keep doing that, eventually your opponent will get confused because you can dash forward, you can dash back, and with it, you can really confuse your opponent on what you're going to do next. And it's pretty good because let's say you run in, but right as you're about to get into range of one of your opponent's moves, you dash back out. Your opponent might throw out a move. Let's say this Falcon goes for a forward smash. Run in, run out. He misses the forward smash. That's prime opportunity to get in there. Maybe get a grab. Maybe get a forward smash. Maybe get a down tilt. There's a lot of options, and Marth is very good at whiff punishing. And just from one grab or one forward smash, you can take an entire stock. So dash dancing is very important. Make sure that you can dash dance at least semi-consistently, just back and forth. Even do maybe longer ones into shorter ones, back into longer ones. Next, we're going to want to look at L canceling. So we'll go over to L cancel training as Marth, back to Battlefield. And here, L canceling is just the act of pressing your shield button or grab button right as or right before you hit the ground after doing a move. So in this case, I'll use Marth's Fair. When you use the Fair, you kind of have a weird window where it almost feels like you can't move. That's called the end lag. You can cut that in half with an L cancel. It's very powerful. It helps you extend combos, and it's a very essential part of the game. So once you get this down, maybe try getting it with your other moves. Maybe even try running across the stage and doing it. Next, maybe what you should also add is sometimes you don't want to be in the air for super long like this, you know. Sometimes you want to get down a little bit faster. What you can do is you can do a fast fall, which is as you do the attack, you press down and you'll fast fall once, or you'll fall faster, and you can get your attack out even lower to the ground rather than it being high up and you're missing a big space below you. So even try doing fast falls. And once you feel like you can hit your L cancels pretty consistently, you'll be good to move on to the next thing. But really only spend about a minute on this one, maybe 2 minutes. just until you feel like you are doing it pretty well. Next, we're going to move on to wave dash training. Wave dashing is a very integral part of this game, especially for Marth. It opens up new combo routes and edge guarding potential. So to start wave dashing, just some basics, it's going to be you jumping, and then you'll air dodge into the stage. So maybe to start, just stand still, jump, and wave dash right down. If you do it a little too fast, you'll just jump. If you do it a little too slow, it might look like this. Just keep doing it in place until you feel like you're doing it pretty well. You know, if you're 1 frame late, that's okay. If it's perfect, that's amazing. But you know, don't worry about it being like too late. Too late is okay for the most part. Once you feel like you can do it in place pretty well, try wave dashing forward, wave dash back, wave dash forward, wave dash back. Maybe go to one side of the stage and try to wave dash across the entire stage to see if you can get that consistency. Next, maybe try going up to a ledge and face the other way from it and wave dash onto the ledge. It's a great way to quickly get onto the ledge for edge guarding. It's an amazing and powerful option every character has in this game, and you should definitely learn it. Alright, next we're going to look at ledge dashing or wave dashing back onto the stage. This is a very powerful option for recovering. Sometimes you might want to roll on the stage, but it's too slow. Sometimes you want to jump, but then you're just going to get punished. And it feels like you have no options for getting back on stage. Ledge dashing is a great way to mix it up and keep your opponent guessing as to what you can do. So we'll go to Battlefield here, and to explain it, in its most basic principle, this is wave dashing onto the stage from ledge. So what we'll do here is we're going to drop from the ledge like this, and then we'll jump. See how we get above the ledge a little bit? And then as we get there, or above the stage, we're going to air dodge into the stage. If you do it too soon, it'll look like this, where you just kind of, you just fall beneath the stage. If you do it too late, it might look like you just air dodge onto stage. But if you do it just right, it'll look like that. So the meter at the top, each square represents a frame, I believe. As you refresh, you get an amount of invincibility. And I believe it's about 7 frames. There's a 7-frame window where you cannot move once you grab the ledge. However, you're really looking to maximize getting off the ledge at that 8th frame. So the gray is the frames that you are allowed to move, but you haven't dropped from the ledge yet. Green is where you're falling. Then the yellow is the jump. Marth's jump doesn't go super high. He's kind of a floaty character, so this is where the jump is actually going to take up a large portion of it. And then the last frame is going to be your air dodge or maybe your landing. This is a representation of your invincibility. So you're invincible during all of these actions that you're doing at the top. So just to show you again, we're looking for something like this. And sometimes if you do it fast enough, you might be able to get an attack in. And it won't be completely safe. You'll see on the side that says I have -9 frames of actional intangibility. Actional intangibility is just where you're fully invincible and you can also attack. It's pretty hard to get it positive on a lot of characters. And some characters, I think it's impossible. But getting at close to 0 as possible, or even positive, is great. You know, that's just basically I'm invincible and can still attack. It's very powerful. Allows you to throw out invincible moves. Spaceys are known for having very good actionable intangibility. But yeah, you should be trying to do your best to maximize this as close to 0 as possible, even though it can be pretty tough. You can also use the D-pad to switch sides to make sure that you are getting both the left and right angle, so it feels good. And just spend about a minute or two just working on this whenever you want to play melee, and it'll make you a lot better getting ledge dashes, and you'll feel a lot better getting back on stage. All right, so heading back into the training lab, we're going to be looking at Marth specific tech or neutral options. So I'm going to go up against a Falcon here on the battlefield. And so what we're going to do here is you can press, I believe, down on the C stick, or not C stick, the D-pad to put them in front of you, then create a save state and reset that save state whenever. But anyway, we're basically, first we're going to be looking at doing short hop aerials, specifically fair. The reason why this is so good is because you can do it, and then you can actually jump once more, and it covers so much space right before you land. It's basically a giant wall of sword that says, if you get hit by this, you're stuck in my combo. It's a great way to wall out opponents and make sure that they don't just run into you and do anything stupid. So the most important part of this short hop forward aerial is being able to drift it well. Sometimes you might want to take up more space. Let's say Captain Falcon's in the middle here, and we want this space. We could make him almost be afraid to approach us and even hold center by just taking up space. And as we land, we use an L cancel to maybe hit a forward air down tilt, maybe a forward air up tilt, or a forward air F tilt. L canceling your forward air is a great way to lead it into other options that just take up more space. So make sure that you're just very comfortable with getting those forward airs in and edge guarding to the best of your ability. Speaking of edge guards, Marth is a very powerful character when it comes to edge guarding, and this is because of their down tilt. It's actually super quick. You can dash out of it. So you can go in for a poke, run away. Go in for a poke, go for a forward smash. Poke, dash in. You have a lot of options when it comes to this down air. Or sorry, down tilt. Alright, so down tilt is actually an amazing tool Marth has for edge guarding capabilities. Let's say you have a Falcon off in the corner, maybe they just got back on stage, maybe you just took up all the space using that drifting forward air, and now they're stuck back here. Down tilt, especially the tipper on the very end, which does more damage and knockback, is going to be a great way to get them off stage and keep them off stage. Once you hit it and they're off stage, a great option that you have is to actually wave dash onto the ledge to try and steal it from them. Just like that. Wave dashing back onto the ledge to steal it so the Captain Falcon cannot recover. It's very powerful to just almost, I won't even lie, to just sit here and mash A, try to time it right so you hit them, and right as you hit them and you think they can't come back, wave dash backwards onto the stage. It's great for keeping opponents away, especially Captain Falcon, especially Falco, and it can take stock super quick. It's definitely something you should have in your repertoire. The next thing I want to talk about is something called the Ken combo, also known as typically tipper forward air into down air. And Marth's down air is actually a special kind of down air. It's a true spike that you cannot jump out of. You cannot meteor cancel it. So the Ken combo is actually very strong for getting early kills or kill confirms. So what we're looking for is we're actually looking for this forward air hitbox. And once we land, we're going to L cancel it. And we'll jump up into the down air. I'll show you here. Right there was the Ken combo. Specifically, this happens when your opponent DIs in, it's very easy. So I have this CPU actually set to DI inwards. That means once you hit them, they're holding in survival DI. But that's actually very bad against Marth's forward air because it allows you to get hit over and over and over again. So it's actually something you can take advantage of. People wanting to live is just try to hit them with the Ken combo. Regarding the Ken combo, you still have other options you can do even if your opponent DIs outwards. We talked about DIing inwards and how it's possible to get the down air spike. However, when they DI outwards, it can be a little bit tougher because you can't get that spike anymore, at least as easily as you could have. So something that you can do instead now is wait for them to jump. They're going to be forced to jump eventually when they go off stage, and all you have to do is just hit them back, or maybe you can steal the ledge from them. So I'll show you here. See, I just waited for the jump, and then I just swung back in with another forward air. Let's try it again. And it's just a great way to keep edge guarding, keep taking those stocks, because even though you can't get the Ken combo like you want, it still sets up for a great edge guard. Alright, those were just some basic techs for Melee in general and Marth. I hope they were helpful. Remember, just spend about a minute on each of these, maybe 2 minutes if you can't get the hang of it. But just every time you're about to play, these are great warm-ups that will keep you learning. They'll make you have a better control over your character, and you'll feel like you can really control the stage and take those stocks that you need to win. Hope this was helpful.